So your action step after watching our video is to increase student heavy lifting. Kelly will implement a new strategy at the beginning of class to check who is ready, giving values violations to those who don't start working on the do now within 10 seconds of implementing the check. How do you feel about that?
I think it's definitely something that I want to be better, but I'm not sure how to make kids get started right away. And I'm looking for better solutions.
Okay. I think it will. I've struggled definitely with this in the past, and it'll take a little while to build up some stamina with students. But if you tell them you're cracking down on it, give them some ways to help themselves be prepared in class, that is going to start to build in a habit of, okay, yes, I need my materials right when I come in. So, we're going to talk about a strategy that we could use, but first we're going to do some practice, do a game. So what I'm going to ask you to do is go to the board, act like you're writing something on the board, and I'm going to go to some student desks and put straws in each of their pencils. I'm going to tell you to turn around, and you will have 3 seconds to figure out how many students don't have a straw or writing pencil. Ready, set, go. 3, 2, 1, turn around. How many cells do not have a writing pencil? Turn back around. Let's do it again, turn around.
Counting all of them?
All of it except for the one to your right and the one to your left. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, turn around.
6.
Okay, check, turn around.
7.
7. Very good. One more time. Alright, ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3. Turn around. How many?
1. Maybe 2.
Where is the one that you know is
In the front right.
Alright. Turn around. Very good. Okay, so that same.
But it's not like that though.
It is.
Everybody has books on their desk and like 17 pencils.
So, what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
If it were 3 desks and just a pencil, I'd be pretty good at it.
So what type of routine should we set up at the beginning of class so that you can check which students are ready for class?
I feel like this is something to try, where it's pencils in. Well, we do this at the end of the now when we do a pencil slam. The pencil should be in the pencil slot, and then there should be 2 desks except for this. And I like physically clear all of my desks before they come back from recess. But I don't know how to make it so that they start like this, unless I also then invest time in putting a pencil in each of their pencil slots, and then wait until everyone's there, and then tell them to start doing their own.
So they come in from recess, and their stuff is for the day is in their desk.
I like throw away, if there's papers on their desks, I throw them away. And they come into a desk with their Gmail in the center of their desk, and nothing else on their desk.
So you were excellent at identifying who doesn't have writing utensils with the desk? I think maybe a strategy that you could do would be to everyone just take their do now and hide it. So you can do a quick check. You could even make a game out of it. Like students get to hide their pencils and you count how many people don't have it or whatever. It's something to kind of make it fun and build investment, but really it's so you know who is ready and who is not. Because out of those, it tended to be kind of in that back corner. Some of them were fidgeting and trying to take out a writing utensil. Some of them didn't have one and were just sitting there like.
That's the problem. Most of it is they don't have something to write with, and then I was like, well, it's maybe from prepared. You may ask one person to borrow a pencil, but it just ends up being like then Ronaldo steals a pencil from somebody, which has happened for a long time, and then it's like been sucking my energy. Where I don't know if I should have them come in and sit down and then not get started right away. Like get set, get your pencil out, tuck your chair in, and then pass out the do now, or like then flip your do now over. But I found it to be like more successful for them to get started right away if the expectation is come in a level 0 and immediately start your do now. But the problem is they're not all starting right away. Some of that is because they come in from like 3 different places, 4 different places, like recess, lunch is open, this Andrea's group, and now this Anderson's group.
Yeah, so they kind of all trickle in. I would then, I think it would then be good to not hand out the do nows until you have everyone or a very high majority of your students in there so that they know, okay, now class is over. That's one way.
Few precious minutes. Texas is about 10 minutes shorter than Harvard.
Because of that.
And the class is actually shorter than 1.5.
So then I would want to see something on the some kind of extension on the do. So either the first problem or the last problem is like a word search, but I was thinking more of a word scramble, so that the students who do get started right away have something to do while everyone finishes. But I think really at some point, whether it's when you hand out all the do nows or whether it's when you have a majority of people in the class, no. I think you need to start the whole class all at once. And if anybody is late because of their group, that's an adult conversation that they can't do. With you. Well, it's like fuss at those people. But it's.
The thing is though, like with that class, I feel like with all of those people, like Levon and Ronaldo and Dante and Jacob, like if they come in and they know exactly what they're supposed to do, like any idle time is when they then decide, like, now I'm gonna talk, now I'm gonna say something to somebody because it's time where they're supposed to be sitting.
Yeah, I'm not saying unstructured time until you start to do
but
it.
even like what I think I could try is like putting the do now face down and having it be like 3, 2, 1 flip. Timer started, complete your do now. But that still doesn't address my biggest problem is writing utensils and how to solve that. Because they all say they had one and then it disappeared somehow between math and when they come back from recess. I think it's a problem for a lot of teachers.
Okay, so where do you want to put your sharpening pencils or giving kids BBs for not having one?
I have been giving kids BBs, but then it's also I literally have nothing for them to write with, so it's like a marker.
It's even more frustrating, yeah. So what about getting paddle pencils, sharpening them, keeping them on your science card in some kind of box, and students who need pencils get their names written down on the board, and they turn them in. think because when other students who do get started right away look around and see Levon and see Ronaldo and Carl or somebody not doing their work, even though they're still doing the work, it sends them in the class a message that, oh, that's okay, that's just them, they don't have to do their work. Or maybe that's a reason why do they have to do their work? So I think this is really something that you should put your effort into. Get a quick check at the beginning of class, have them either have a pencil for them and give them the VB, or I don't know.
Or have like a class set. I feel like my two options are have pencils for the kids so you get a VB, or like have a set of 30 pens, and just like how I set up their do now for them every single day, I also put a pen in their pencil slot. So I'm like, they're in 5th grade, they shouldn't have to VB.
Yeah. Another way to do it would be each time a kid gets a VB for being unprepared for learning, you could call home and say, your student is coming in unprepared, could you go to the dollar store and for $1 buy pencils, because they're getting detentions for not having the pencils. But that then puts more work on you to have to call. And maybe that one phone call, you get sharpen something.
And that, I think most of it is that kids are getting started and they tell me, but then, like, I think a few of them, mainly just Carl, loves it. Like, if you're excused to not do work and won't let anyone know. And so I'm, like, busy dealing with the 29 students, and then I'm like, Carl's just been sitting there the whole time, that little bugger.
I know.
I didn't even know I didn't have a pencil.
And they're sneaky about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would like to see either their do-nows turned over or their desk cleared, so you can get a quick picture, just as you did in the practice. These people don't have it. Write their names on the board, write them on the tracker, give them the values violations.
Almost those are the kids that come in late. Carl, Levon.
Whose group are they?
Either lunch detention or Mr. Q's detention, or usually if something happens at recess and they get pulled for it. Which we talked about a little bit in 5th grade, but there wasn't really a way to solve it because those issues at recess should be addressed like right after. Which I understand, but I can start with flipping papers over all at once so they know class is now getting started, and before they flip, put your pen in your pencil slot so I can visually see, hand out pencils to those who need it, and then just try to track people who are coming in.
Okay, so let's adjust this a little. To increase student heavy lifting, we'll implement a new strategy, which is do now turnover at the beginning of class to check who is ready, giving duties to those who don't start on the do now within 10 seconds of the shot. Sounds good?
Yep.
Willing to commit to that?
Try it.
Okay. So we've got action plan, we've practiced. My follow-up, I will commit to tomorrow observing. I think you should try it in all your classes if you think you need to, but I will come and observe the beginning of Texas tomorrow to see how it goes. We can debrief and see if it's something that we want to pursue, or after a first trial if we need to move.
Good.
Alright? Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3 science. 1, 2, 3 science! Alright, now get my straws.